Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Max and Yo-Yo. Thank you so much for making it a date with us. As many of you know, I am me, Max. I am single and I am dating or trying to date. And I remember one time earlier this year, I was talking with this guy. Um, he had been in a relationship for give or take 5 years. The relationship hadn't worked out. It had led all the way to marriage, but the relationship just didn't happen because of several things that happened. We're not going to get into that at the moment. And when I had ended up meeting him, he was just 2 months post removed from his breakup with his girlfriend of 5 years, and he was looking to start another relationship. And I remember telling him, asking him, like, have you taken the time to like unpack, the trauma, the lessons, the heartache of whatever happened within you and XYZ within the last 5 years? I think that there's worth something, taking that time to figure it out. And at the time, he was like, "No, I'm good," But I kept on insisting that you need to take the time to have these conversations, to talk to somebody without however you feel you need to unpack before you get into a new relationship. I guess with that being the premise of our conversations today, um, we want to have a slight kitchen talk conversation about what it means or how long is too soon or when is it too soon for you to be jumping into a relationship after a post breakup, or how long do you need to take, or how long do you need to give yourself to heal before getting into a new relationship. So with that being said, I'm going to put down the mic and let you take it from here because she's our resident relationship expert, of course.
Oh no, Max, you're giving me a title. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, welcome to 30 Plus Click again. And so when it comes to how long it will take you to heal, or how long do you really need to unpack yourself before getting into another relationship, I think that is very relative because the healing process and the healing journey is very different for everyone. And so for people that decided to end the relationship, I think that would be a little more easier for them. For those that really, really wanted the relationship, but for some certain reasons, the relationship had to end, it will be a little bit difficult for them. And so because there is no one clothes fit all, everybody has their different reason for ending or quitting their relationship. And so there is no time standard or time frame. But what would like to talk about would be, what are the signs, what are those pillars, what are those things you should watch out for you to be ready to know that, okay, I think I'm ready to jump into another relationship. And also, what are the things you should be doing after or when you're about to quitting your relationship, or when you've quitted your relationship? What are the things you should invest your time, your mind, your emotions into, so that it can help you heal faster, help you unpack faster? Then you'll be ready to now start, dressing up and start getting ready to go for dating. And so that's what we would like to discuss. And so if you are the stage where you are currently healing, we'd like to know, what are the things that you're doing, what are your strategies, what are the things that has worked for you? Or if you're just thinking of quitting your relationship, do you want to think about it again? Or is it something that is a no, yeah, we support your decision, we're here for you, it's a community. And so Max, so looking at let's look at the symptoms. What are the symptoms? What are the signs that one you should watch out for to know that you're ready for another relationship?
So for me, so I want to backtrack a little bit. While there is no one size fits all for a relationship timeline in terms of when you should date somebody after a breakup, I do think that it is never easy, whether you're the one who wanted the relationship the most or whether you're the one who ended up walking away from the relationship. Either ways, there is an imprint that a relationship leaves on you. Um, and so I think that it is worth saying that you should give yourself grace to feel the pain, to let it go and let God, because a lot of hard guy, nothing, they, she kind of mentality is what makes a lot of is what makes we have a lot of broken people walking around in society hurting people. So give yourself time to heal, even if you're the one who left the relationship. For me, my always feeling is there is never a situation. I never tried to leave a situation without trying to take a lesson from that situation. So even after leaving it, I'm gonna sit down and say, okay, what did I do wrong here? How can I improve my personality? How can I improve here and there? That is what I like to do. So even if you're the one who left, figure just take that time. So and I'm gonna now reverse back to your question because I forgot it. So if you don't mind, can you ask me again?
Okay, so after taking the time to heal, let's just make it like a storyline or a process. So after quitting the relationship and you think you've taken some time, you've looked back, you've picked up your lessons, you have healed, now you think you're ready. So what are those traits? What are those qualities? What are those signs that that you would start feeling or see, or what are the things you should watch out for to know that you're ready for another relationship?
For me, well, I'm not a relationship expert. I'm just someone just like you who is going through the process. And so one of the things that I would say is one thing how I know that I'm ready is when whatever the person does no longer affects me. And not in terms of ever affecting me because like some people can be like, oh, I don't care, all of that, and then they move on even from day one. But in terms of like the whole process of the relationship is so far in the rearview mirror that like none of the things that used to make it feel so special, you know, feel special anymore. So once you get to that point where it's just another person, it's just another day, and I don't mean the day after because no, you're just pretending. I mean like when you've taken the work to do deep dive in yourself and you've grown, then yes, maybe you can be in a healthy space to have another relationship. But another thing is when you've taken a lot of time, a good time to do some introspection and self growth. um, I'm never a proponent of getting under someone to get over someone. No, because you're only going to end up hurting somebody in the process. So I would always say take the time, once you've taken that time to do introspection, to learn to have accountability because it takes two to tango. You can point your fingers at all the person, or he didn't do this and she didn't do that. And that's why the relationship didn't do what it was supposed to do. But if you take the time to take accountability for what you didn't do or what you let go of, and be ready to, improve your characteristics in terms of that aspect, then maybe you're ready to jump back in the fray. That's one of the two things that I like to think about in terms of like, when are you ready to go back when you're able to like, it's all in the rearview mirror, and when you've taken time to do accountability for yourself and have accepted it because there are some people still that do accountability. They know all the problems, but are not ready to fix it. Once you know the problems and have done the work to fix it and you've grown from that relationship, then you're ready to go out in the world and mingle again. So that's for me some things that I like to do. I always perfect it. This is just my opinions. These are not medically or psychological from a psychologist. No, this is my opinion, and this is what I would do if I were in a situation. This is what I've done before. So I hope that someone finds this helpful and useful.
Well, that's very helpful, Max. And so in other instances where the people in question, they really maybe this is not a marital relationship, and maybe it's just like you're just trying to sample, right? You're getting to know yourself. And in that, you have options, right? Like the guy has two girls or three girls and trying to find, okay, who am I going to settle with? And uh, I would say, unfortunately, is equally involved in their lives in a very certain negative, in a certain way. And so at that point, will it be appropriate for him to just pull out and make a decision and that's it?
So if I understand the question very well, a guy is dating two girls. He's ready to um, propose, obviously, to one of the girls. And he ends up breaking up with his one of the girls and moves on with the other one. Is that my understanding?
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, congratulations to them, I guess. There's really, if the two girls were unaware of the relationship, that there were actually three in the relationship and one ends up becoming the wife. Well, congratulations to her. She probably doesn't know, and that's that on that. I'm not going to focus on the guy. While I do not agree with that kind of like attitude or thinking or, double dating, multiple, it's never my mentality in terms of approaching relationships. Because at the end of the day, someone is going to get hurt. And guess what? Someone did get hurt because guess what? The other girl that was in this relationship, she probably invested her emotions as well, and you've left her now, and she's probably now like, if this person is anything like me or like me at some point in my life, she probably internalized that hurt, thinking, oh, there's something wrong with me. What did I do wrong? Why doesn't he love me? This and that and the other. Meanwhile, she wouldn't have known that, it's no fault of hers, the person was just not a very quality human being at all. So I don't really subscribe to people who say, oh, we're testing two to see, which one works. I think when you meet your person, and there's no need to play around. People who do that trying to eat their cake and have it, but that's not for me to judge. I wish you congratulations to the winner at the end of the day. But I'm going to focus on the person who ends up getting hurt. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You're wonderful. You played the game. It didn't work out this time. If you wanna cry, cry. If you wanna take some time to yourself to sleep, do that. Just feel. But hear this, that it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong, but also take the time. Just give yourself grace. Take the time to heal. Take the time to learn. Um, there must have been signs in the relationship that, for the sake of relationship, as we've talked about many times on this podcast, we tend to ignore it because we want to make things work. We want to fix it. What are those signs that you miss? Take the time to figure it out, and then try to do better. If you need to speak to somebody, someone whom you hold dear, someone who you respect, that might be your mother or your religious leader if you have one. But if you don't have one, maybe your therapist, speak to somebody, unburden yourself and do the work. What is my ideal person? I remember I was in a relationship recently that ended, and I went to speak to somebody, and we had a long conversation like, what is my ideal person? We built that, like, what happiness looks like for me, and when you have that roadmap of what happiness looks like for you and what you're actually looking for, juxtapose it versus what you lost, and you might actually see that where you were coming from is not where you actually want to go to. Take your time to feel better. With your roadmap in hand, you can now decide when you pick your next relationship, does this person look like what happiness is to me? You know, have that roadmap and actively seek that roadmap out, is what I'm saying. So that is my take on that. But again, these are just my opinions. I'm not a relationship expert. I'm just a girl with a mic.
I love that, a girl with a mic. All right. So thank you so much for tuning to 30 Plus Click. I know that a number of us were in a different curve in our relationship, whether it's marital or single or trying to connect with someone or trying to date. So what I encourage you before you jump in from one mood to another mood, from one guy to another girl, from one girl to another guy, don't just flip it. It is not a card that you just flip, you know. Try to unpack your emotions, try to sort out your feelings, try to write down your lessons and try to, you know, pen down what you would need to avoid because these lessons are very important that you pay attention to it so that you don't have a repeated relationship that looks alike. The goal of every relationship that you're working out from is progress. The goal of every relationship that you're breaking up from or every friendship that you're pulling out from, remember to always make progress. And if you want to make progress, you need to put what is the big picture, and the spotlight must always be on you. So we call it another day. Thank you for watching our section to this point. Thank you for following us on YouTube, on Spotify, and very soon we're launching out on Apple Podcast. We'll let you know when we are live there, and also we want you to show us some love. And also want to appeal to you that for every like that you like, for every comment that you comment, for every another reels that you watch, for every another video that you watch, it helps us improve our algorithm. So want you to show us some love, and we never take that love for granted. Thank you for watching to this point, and we look forward to meeting next. Have a beautiful week. Take care.
Bye.